Greg, let's talk a little bit about Plato's Phaedo 102d.
Yes.
Very short passage, which is so rich, however.
Oh,
I love it.
I do too. And what you see here is my translation. I confess that I like the translations of people who render this passage this way. Socrates, he's saying to himself, "You're talking like a book." I find that wonderfully arresting and attractive at the same time. But I'm trying to be as true to the original Greek as possible. And sungraphikōs doesn't really mean to be talking like a book. It means to be talking the way an author who has carefully planned a literary work, that is to say, something that is written down in order to be read, and has planned it in such a way that every aspect of it adds up to a coherent whole. So it's a far cry from oral tradition, as I understand oral tradition. It's very writerly. It's very, I'll make up a new word, authorly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basing that on writerly. And the point still stands, is that Socrates does not want to be caught sounding as if he's the speaker in a textbook, where this textbook culture hero has solved everybody's problems, and now we can apply the teachings of Socrates. Okay, so he didn't write down anything for us, but thanks to Plato, we have the Socrates teachings, and let's live by them and think by them. And that's not the Socratic ideal. It's not what Socratic dialogue is about. Socrates insists that any dialogue has to be open-ended. He is the exponent of the idea that he should not have the last word. Even if he seems to have the last word in a dialogue staged by Plato, where he is the star speaker, he doesn't want, or the character Socrates doesn't want to be the speaker who has the last word. And that's what he is jokingly resisting here. I'm starting to sound like the author of a book. Plato may be the author of a book, but even Plato wouldn't want to stage me as somebody who has the last word. So I'm going to be very self-conscious and witty and say, oops, this is starting to sound like a textbook. It's starting to sound like the last word. I don't want it to be. And of course, this fits also with something that we, I'm sure, have the occasion to talk about, and that is how Plato is mentioned in the writings of Plato, and I'm thinking now of the dialogues only twice, once in the Apology and once in the Phaedo, where at the beginning the question was, and where was Plato? Oh, Plato wasn't there. That's not quite what the speaker says. The speaker says Plato wasn't up to it, so we don't even know for sure whether he was there. He just doesn't want to put himself in there. He's just not up to it. He doesn't have the strength to be there and be a respondent of Socrates. Why? Because he's channeling Socrates not to have the last word. And that's what the philosopher is pointing to here in a very ostentatious and funny and, yes, charming way.